Madam, are we good to start?
Yes, we'll start in 2-3 minutes, sir.
Hi, may I know how long it will take? Like, how long the meeting will be taking? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. We'll be completing the session by 4:30, and then we'll have open query session. And in between also you can interact.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Amen. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, Ramya ma'am. Shall we start the session? I request all the participants to kindly mute your microphones, and you can kindly unmute it as and when you would like to interact and speak and ask or share anything. So please, friends, kindly mute your microphones right now and we'll start the session. Ramya ma'am, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you so much for the handover. Appreciate it. Namaskaram and good afternoon to every beautiful parent sitting here. Welcome to this session of online, which is more particularly into child safety. A new set of, generation coming into the world of most complexities. So all the more a reason why we have to keep our guards always, high and alert. As a parent, not a single time would anybody ever have a doubt on your upbringing. However, the more aware we are, the more vigilant we are, the more situation awareness that we come up with, we are able to handle situations and balance our child's growth better. Having said that, you are free, like Dimple ma'am said, you are free to ask me questions. I am also a parent. I will also be learning. So just because I'm conducting the program doesn't mean I know it all. Okay, so I have never believed in it that as a facilitator, I will be sharing a lot of my experience as a parent, experience as a caregiver, experience as a knowledge sharing person, but a lot of inputs from your end also will be advisable. So when you share, there'll be a lot of it that we will also learn. You know, there are lots of faculties from IRIS sitting here, lots of parents from other walks of life and other professions. It will just add value to all of us. So please feel free to do so. Just because I'm conducting it doesn't mean I know it all. Having said that, I will start off with a story. I'm sure most of you know the story. However, reiteration is nice. And I always do my sessions with a story. So there is a story that is very close to my heart. And every time I make a judgment as a parent, this story hits me hard. So let me walk you through this story. So there are two people in this story. Okay, one happens to be an IT sector personnel. Okay, and one happens to be an old generation gentleman. Okay, both of them are neighbors in a particular apartment. Both of them have their own flats adjacent to each other. Incidentally, their balconies also are common. As in, you know, the walls sometimes, you know, we are so close to each other. People living in Bombay will understand me better. So the balconies are absolutely close by. And so what happens is there's this bonding that happens between this techie guy and this older generation. And obviously, when there is a bonding, there's a lot of giving and sharing. So the older gentleman kabhi chai pe bula lete hain. So this guy would go take some stuff and go and stuff like that. So ab ki baar kya hota hai? In the recent time, what happens? He gets a gift for this older gentleman and he brings a sapling. Okay. So he brings a sapling for the older generation gentleman and for himself too. And both of them end up planting almost adjacent to each other. They plant this sapling in their balcony. And this techie guy, you know, every day in the morning goes, pours in water, ensures that the right kind of manure, enough manure or rather more manure being put. And he is just so busy in his own world. He does his due diligence and duty every day. Subah utke ye kaam pakka karta hai. Whereas when the other gentleman happens, he picks up whenever he can. He pours a little bit of water here and there, gives a decent amount of manure, and that is how it is. After a prolonged period of time, both the parties sit down for a chai pe charcha. Okay, they sit down to talk on a general aspect, and then they talk about their plant. Remember, the plant was of the same category, same kind of sapling, and from the same nursery. So everything seemed to be perfectly fine. So when they're discussing the outcome, the IT professionals' plant is much more greener, much more bushier. Okay. However, the older gentleman's plant is equally healthy, but not as heavy, or should I say, much more greener. So there is a difference. So, though this looks more, full of greenery. So after the discussion happens and all the sharing happens, like any other normal day, respective people go back to their respective homes, shut the balcony door, and that night comes up very, very bad thunder, extremely bad thunder, and so bad of thunder and lightning that when he wakes up in the morning in the excitement of what happened to his plant, he runs to the balcony to see. And incidentally, the techie guy realizes that his plant, which was more bushy, which was more greenery, had uprooted. Whereas the old person's plant was relatively fine. I would not say it was not harmed, but it never got uprooted. It was there and it was standing strong. My question to you is very simple. And yes, I would like you, if anybody has got an answer, to unmute and answer though. But my question to you is very simple. Both are the same plants. Both were put into the, came into the house at the same time. Everything was done the same way. What went wrong? What do you think was the reason that the techie guy's plant got uprooted and the older generation gentleman's plant remained relatively still? Anybody who would want to contribute? I would like to make it clear, my sessions are never monologue. It is always dialogue. Mamta ji, आप बोलना चाह रहे हैं? Yeah, you have to unmute. Oh, I have to unmute. Dimple ma'am, would you be able to unmute Mamta ji, please?
Yes, I'll do that.
Ha, Mamta ji, you're on.
Yeah, in the story, as you have already mentioned, that the older person, वो plant को ज़्यादा manure यानी chemical देते जा रहा था, and the other person is in a very disciplined manner. He was giving the, you know, the powders and the food to
and
the plant
feeding and the water.
Yes, it is in a very disciplined way.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you would want to add? Techie guy is overprotective. Nikhila ji, thank you. That's a very nice input. Thanks, Mamta ji. Yes, anybody else who wants to add to this? A little more deeper. A little more deeper. Your answers are not wrong. Your answers are good, but they're not perfect. Thoda aur soch. What else do you think must have happened?
Actually, the plant was given the natural type of growth, whereas the techie guy has not concentrated on the natural growth and natural ability of the plant.
So could you be a little more descriptive when it comes to natural growth? What did you mean by that?
Natural growth in the sense, actually, every person in the world has the natural ability of growth. So when that is being subsidized by some of the external forces, that things will not at all come into the fruitful way. So
absolutely. So combined with all the three answers, yeah. Absolutely. So that means somewhere we did too many things that was not wanted.
Yes, that's right.
We gave too much data, too much information, too much food, too much protection,
too much care,
too much care, too much focus. Because of which the self-growth, which Ramakant ji you were mentioning, was absolutely there. That self-growth never happened because sab mil raha hai, muft mein mil raha hai, khana ko puchne ki zarurat nahi hai, nothing else is required. And in the whole process, why it got uprooted was the roots never went down.
The root never went down.
Correct. For the roots to go down, it has to break the soil. To break the soil is painful. But if it doesn't break the soil, it doesn't go further deep. If it doesn't go further deep, the grip will not be strong. If the grip will not be strong, how much ever you feed, it will get uprooted. So when we talk about this story in relevance to our children, how many of you feel it is so true?
That's true.
Right? For our generation, I'm only talking about our generation. The way we were raised, at least in our houses, we had at least 2 siblings. Apart from us, we must have had 1 more or even 2 more or even more. Okay. And a parent had to look after all the angles. Okay. There were children, 4 children, 3 children in the house. Now, parent would have to look after each one of them, plus the house, plus the necessities, plus everything put together. So there are times when you have followed the footsteps of your brother or sister. There are times when you learned cycle when your leg was not even reaching the floor. We've done that. How many of you remember your cycle riding when you would do the catchy? You know the scissors cycle. Remember? Back ne the pair nahi pahunchta tha, but we did it. Do our children have the capacity to do it now?
No.
Right.
We don't allow them to do that.
Correct. And we never had small cycles in our home. We only had adult cycles, if you remember it correctly. We never had small cycles at home. What am I trying to drive the point? I'm not questioning the upbringing of today's parent, but I'm saying that there is a quotient of element of focus that requires for us to balance our act out. If there was right amount of water, right amount of fodder, right amount of things given, maybe even this tree would have sustained it. But just because we have financial aid, just because we are, education-wise we are stronger, finance-wise we are stronger, we feel what we didn't get, our children should get. And in that process, we put too much of everything inside. So anything which is over and extreme will only take you to a negative zone. You all agree to it? That's why they say balanced. You cannot eat too much sweet, you cannot eat too much karam, you cannot eat too. That means balanced. So today's class, I again say today's class is an awareness program. We as an IRIS, as an organization, don't doubt parents, not a speck. but it's nice to be aware. A few more elements that will come into your focus. It will help us understand and act better. Is my slide visible to all of you? Just confirm it to me, please.
Yes.
ma'am.
Thank you. So when you see that quotient there, it says safety awareness for every parent, which is safe parenting, which is a full-time job. That means apart from the job as a officer or as an IT professional or as a doctor that you have, this job also is a full-time job. So we cannot compromise on it, right? So what is our job and what is our due diligence? Important element. When I say the word safety, right? These are some few data that I had collected from, obviously, thanks to Google. That is where I picked up this data from. But having said that, what according to you do you understand or you think safety for children means? What do children think when you say the word safety? आपको क्या लगता है, क्या सोचते हैं बच्चे? I'm going to stop the presentation. I'm going to come back to my, so I can see all of you. My question is very simple. What do you think as a word safety means to a child? Don't tell me adult perspective. Tell me child perspective. एक बच्चा safety अगर बोलते हो तो क्या समझ में आता है उसको? What does a child think?
The child is not hurt.
Child is not hurt. H-U-R-T, Dimple ma'am?
Yes.
ठीक है, hurt, ठीक है. Yes, Mamta ma'am, आप कुछ कह रहे थे? Freedom
Child
to be
should
themselves.
safe.
Excellent. Sorry, Mamta ji बोला.
Child should be safe.
मेरे को safe का meaning चाहिए. मेरे को safe का meaning चाहिए.
Not to play with the sharp things or like they should not play.
They should not get hurt. They should not
Yes.
get hurt. Pakka.
Yeah.
Noted. Perfect. Noted.
Child should
Anything
feel
else?
Child should feel confident in the presence around him or her.
Correct. That means ज़्यादा सोचने का जरूरत नहीं. बिंदास.
Yeah, that child should not have that more thinking. He should be confident that he can be with the surroundings.
And whatever he's playing or whatever he's doing, he's completely enjoying it versus looking around. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to
Safety
say.
according to you is that very nice. Anybody else?
Parents should make them confident that what they are going to be doing safely.
Correct. You're right. But again, we're going back to the word safe. I'm asking. what
Not
do you
safe
mean?
exactly. That is not exactly. But children should make a confident that parents are there. We can do anything. That confidence should build.
Correct. I think
Need to know the
Rakshana ma'am had written feeling happy being around in a place, which is another important word. Now, why do you think I asked you this question? Any idea?
And ma'am, they should feel comfortable with the location which they are.
So when they are comfortable with the location, when you are comfortable with your location, what happens to you? You enjoy more. You are happy more.
Friendly environment also we need to create for them.
Excellent. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Now, why are we doing child safety as an important criteria? Because today's world is changing and it's changing really fast. And it's not changing for all good reasons. There are good reasons, but not all good reasons. That is exactly why our child and many other children in our community becomes our responsibility. Hence, child safety awareness programs are critical. That's why IVS has taken this opportunity and we are a part of it today. Having said that, look, can you all see the slide? Okay. It says 1 out of the 4 female and 1 out of the 6 have been reported on sexual abuse. It's a very big number. Okay. Again, mind you, this is only on people who have reported cases. There are people who have hit cases too. So you don't know what is the actual number. Okay. Majorly 87% of abusers, it's not just sexual, it's also psychological, physiological. There are lots of elements that will come into it. But 87% are the people, 87% of sexual abuse is not even registered. Last but not the least, 92%, which is an alarming number. 92% of abusers are usually known or well-known people. I'm not saying everybody should be doubted, but being on guard is always good, right? So keeping that in mind, let me take you through most important element when you are talking to your child, okay? You are not just talking safety, but you're talking about emotional understanding. Okay, do you see the slide move? Do you see? Can somebody confirm it to me? Understanding the difference between emotional feelings.
Yes, I'm able to see the slide, Ramya ma'am.
Good,
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
for the confirmation. Sorry, we are online, so I will have to cross-check every time. Don't get irritated because thanks to technology, anything can happen. Okay, so I will ask, do confirm it to me and I'll appreciate that. So everything that we are going to discuss today, share today, is connected to emotions and feelings. Okay, I am not going to give you a lot of dope on this. There's a lot of information available, but as a parent, basic criteria that you need to understand is to talk and share and understand what emotion your child is going through. Sometimes child is so young, it might not have the right kind of vocabulary. Right? When they don't have vocabulary, they can't frame sentences. Why do you say that? I'm a certified counselor. An adult walks into my counseling session, sometimes is not able to express his emotions well. So we are talking about children who are absolutely learning language now. So you get the difference I'm talking? So as a parent, are we able to understand and gauge emotions? ये आपके लिए बहुत important है. Right? So when you are able to gauge these emotions, you will be able to share some feelings that are added to these emotions. Why is it important? When you're collecting everyday information from your child, these informations will help you connect to the point. Are you all with me? Are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right? So इसको आपको लगेगा, you might suddenly feel इतना ज्ञान क्यों? But ये जरूरी है because we have stopped. Our emotions are very restricted. Are you angry? Why are you shouting? You know, are you happy? Did you enjoy the class? ये 4-5 चीजों को छोड़ के we have not thought on anything else. But feelings are emotions that come much more. It could be rejection. It could be, it could be sadness. It could be pity. It could be agony. It could be a number of things. I'm not saying a child will have that vocabulary, but as a parent, you need to know. So this is a class for youth, for us to understand our children better. Okay, we will come to this aspect in a little later. This is another reality check for all of us. Sad but true. Every time I did this slide sharing with Iris teachers also, I choked on emotion and I'm still choking now. Not a very good slide. I only hope and pray the numbers become 0. Okay, so this is where parents' awareness matters a lot. Having come down to that, I hope you can see this. This is one of my favorite all-time slides. आप ये कर सकते हो, आप अपने हिसाब से कर सकते हो. You can do it the way you want it. Start teaching the child. This in the corporate world of communication is called proximity. Proximity means distance. Okay? Start teaching your child now. How much is the area where you as a mother, you as a father, you as a tata, you as a nana, dadu, or which category, where, which family, where do you stand? How close can you physically stand close to somebody? A child needs to be taught. I repeat, what you teach your child today will live with him for a longer time to come. Right? So safety and security starts now. How I had proposed to Iris, I will propose it for you for home. Pick up different colors of different circles of different sizes, okay? And start with the inner circle, keep it in a common place and show the child whichever color of preference. I leave the order of preference to you. But now ye bahut acha kaam kare. I did it with my children and it worked beautifully well. Purple is you. That means it is you and how safe you feel. Next is the family. Okay. Now this family can be extended family. But the purple can be the complete immediate family. Blue family can be the extended family. Third is the friendship family. So Why are we doing this? So the child knows if it's friend, to what distance do I supposed to keep him? If it is family, how safe am I with them? You understand what I'm talking? This is a safety regime. So even if the other person is intruding, the child will actually understand, oh, he's come too close. This is not the person I want to be close to. Okay. Color, I've kept it because it is for a child, color matters a lot. Keep it that way. Any questions so far? Do you think this kind of your proximity coverage, do you think that will help?
I believe yes.
I'm glad you feel the same as I do. Thank you so much. Because this really helps a child to identify who falls in which category. If they are coming too close, what is threatening me? And if they are close to me, is this my family? Is this Amma Nana? Is this Tata Party? Is this who? So a child will be able to demark it. So when the thing is happening, the child will be able to identify it. Right? So anybody who's got any questions so far on anything that we've done so far? Fair enough. If you have one, you may please unmute and ask me. I'll be more than glad to answer you. The next important element that we're talking, I hope you can still see the slide move. Safety concerns at home. Mind you, I realized when I was talking to you just now, half a second back, I realized balcony got missed. A lot of things come into this category. I want everybody to go on mute, please, with all due respect, unless you have some questions to ask me. Simple ma'am, would you be able to mute, please? Okay, because if I have to do it, thank you. Right. Right. So now, when you talk about safety concerns, at school, I've done that for the teachers already, but at home becomes our responsibility. Okay. So from the people whom we are hiring at home, you know, as a servant or a driver or a, governess, or a healthcare professional for our senior citizens who are living in our house and taking care of our, senior citizens at home, everything put together. Can we go on mute, please?
Mute lo
లేదు వినపడుతుంది అందుకే చెప్తున్నాను. Okay, I will check because it sometimes becomes disturbing for all of them in case there's something else to pinpoint upon. Right. So safety at home, multiple, every room needs to be thought through. Every room needs to be thought through, from your kitchen to your bathroom to your bedroom to your balcony to your terrace to your steps to your name it, you have it. Okay, so this is something that all of you need to be quite. As a parent, you're already doing a fabulous job, but do not, I repeat, do not take anything for granted. Children are much more swifter, faster, agile than you and I are. By the time we realize everything is done. You understand what I'm talking about? I stopped the presentation, but do you are you all able to relate and understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So a lot of things, a lot of homework needs to go in when you are talking about safety for the children, from your electricity connections to water to geyser to anything and everything. Do not take it for granted. कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ भी नहीं होगा, सब कुछ हो जाएगा. I will give you a very small incident, but a very big impact to me. Okay. All of us make puris, right? All of us love oil stuff. I also love oil stuff. So one day I remember we have a 3-burner gas at home, at this home of mine. And obviously I was making puris, so the oil was hot. I did whatever necessities it needs to be. I kept the burner, I kept my kadai on the first burner, which is the closest to me. because it's easy. And nobody was there except for about 30-degree burn that I had managed to get. Others were safe. But what happened? The oil spilled. You're getting where I'm coming? And I had 2 little ones at that time. My kids are grown up now, but they were very little when this incident happened. Okay. After that day, I'm talking, it is almost about 14, 15 years now. And I will not lie to you, that bhayam of 30%, 30-degree burn was enough for me for the rest of my life to understand that any cooking that I'm doing, let me do it at the back burner. I will not take chances when it comes to the front. Why? Because this happened to me. It should not happen to any of our children. Yes or no? So these are simple tricks, yes, but you might think my child cannot reach this place. Your child is capable of much more than you can imagine. So keeping things like these, have to be careful. Your iron, right? I am getting, my voice is getting echoed because somebody's mic is on. So electric sockets, your burnings, water. I don't know how many of you have done this, but people who have lived in the foreign country, initially when the child was born, will understand what I'm saying. We used to check water's temperature with our elbow. How many of you remember that? Right? In India, we have a different lead. They put it on our own legs. We put it on in our hands to feel, correct? Yes, no. So never leave a child unattended at any point in time, because a child is super swift. So again, the food that you're giving, let's not talk on the dining table, especially with food in the mouth. Loads and loads and loads of videos have come now in recent past. I don't know if all of us are active on WhatsApp, must have seen this video. A good grown-up guy, young fellow, was eating something and he choked. You know, and when you choke, you know what happens. So the food that you're giving to the child, to the toys that the child is playing with, everything has to be on vigilance. How many of you remember having put their leg on one of the Lego toys of your child and you must have seen Narkam? How many of you have done that? Has it ever happened to you? Yes. When you put your leg on one of the child's toy and it must have taken you upstairs directly with so much of pain. Right? So these are simple. You're already doing it. I'm not. But what are important is the ones which are coming now. Poison. Did you see that poison? We don't give our children poison, but we give it in very different ways. I'm not saying go to organic food. I'm not saying all that. I'm not trying to publicize anything here. Be careful of the foods you're introducing and the drinks you're introducing to your child. Okay. Aerated drinks of Pepsi and Thumbs Up and Sprite. Please don't tell me you have not done it. Great, God bless you if you've not done it. I have not done it to my children so far. They are 17 and 16 years of age. They have not done it so far. They have not drank. But now they are grown up. They can do what they want to do in limits. But our children will not know. The taste is so powering that the child will love to have it. So don't even get into it, because it destroys the child internally. So be careful. Those are again some concerns. Safety concerns that you need to keep in mind. Traffic rules, road safety. School is doing it, you have to do it too. Because for school, it only goes to a couple of hours. But after that, he's with us at home. So that traffic rules, road safety, play area safety, water safety, fire safety. You might suddenly say, why fire safety? We also use a lot of fire at home. Agarbatti, Deepam, and thanks to mosquitoes, so now we put a lot of other, Shamrani and all that. We do a lot of things, right? There's a lot of matches used, candles used. Careful. I remember one of the videos that I saw, not in live. I'm so blessed I didn't see it live. So there was this girl who was a total little fellow having his birthday, 1 year, I think. And he was super excited. The mother got so excited and happy, and she put the candle there, and this guy went and put his hand on the candle. So the whole patch, and mind you, their skin is still very tender, right? These are also incidents that are red alerts for us. Sports safety. Sports safety doesn't mean safety for the children only for their health benefit. Oh, it is also for TV benefit. If he takes one bat and sways it and our TV is gone. So a lot of things come here as well. You're already doing a fabulous job. People who've got animals, a very important alert for all of you. There is a lot, people in Hyderabad might understand what I'm trying to tell you. Other states, I'm not sure of, but let me tell you about Hyderabad. There's a lot of escalation on foot and mouth disease in children. I repeat, foot and mouth disease in children. It's become very prevalent, very active in Hyderabad. Okay, I'm not saying it has come through animals, but it gets aggravated with animals. Okay, people who've got animals, be watchful, careful, thoughtful all the time. Right? Because certain things might not suit certain children. They might come with asthma, they might be having different kinds of allergies. This might just trigger it even more. Sexual abuse, will come to that topic a little later. High risk behavior, you must have seen sometimes our children become hyperactive. You might be seeing certain children hyperactive. You might be certain children who are very docile, very quiet. These are also alerts and safety concerns for our children, right? Furniture fixtures we talked about, right? So I'm sure you're already doing it, but if you're not, then these are elements to focus upon. I was talking to you about animals. Remember, look at the first picture on your left. Children get very excited, very happy when they see their puppy dog or any pet that they have. Animals have a tendency to react. Okay, because they also feel threatened. They also feel unsafe. They are also moody. Right? So I have seen personally in a couple of houses where they're very aggressive with the child is not aggressive. The child is excited to play, but it doesn't understand that it's intruding into the space of the animal. Right? So sometimes when the child is the pet is sleeping, it goes and pats its back, pulls the tail, or when it's eating, they go in trouble. All these are also elements that are important part of safety. Right? How many of you know what should be the distance between the railings of the steps? जो रेलिंग होता है आपके स्टेप्स का, कितना डिफरेंस होना चाहिए दोनों रेलिंग्स में?
One meter.
Almost there, rather less than that also. But how many of you remember the thumbs up wala can? Thumbs up ka can, not the bottle, can. Okay, the pet can that we have, the beer ka can, the pet ka can, utne size ka difference hi hona chahiye. That is ideally, that should be the distance between two railings. Did you know that? The can itna hi hota hai. Have you seen that can? Uska utna hi width hota hai. Aur between those two cans ka jo width hai, utna hi width hona chahiye railing ka. I'm not saying you're wrong. Ghar ke interiors ke hisab se, if you make the house, that is how it will be. I'm not debating it. That means we have to be careful. Railing hai, nahi girega, right? I don't know how many of you remember, there was a video of a video from Mumbai. A child was actually hanging from the balcony. It was playing in the balcony and it hung out of the railing. Bahar latak raha tha wo. Getting the reason why I'm saying the railings distance should be limited. Yes, any questions, any doubts? Am I making sense to all of you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
these are some critical elements. You might be doing it already, but still importantly, teach the child to chew the food as many times, like we say 32 times, right? That child still doesn't have 32 teeth. But theek hai, usko bolo achhi se chabane so that it doesn't choke. So choking hazards are taken care of. Right? Climbing up on certain levels. I can hear crosstalk speech. Right. Sorry, I had to mute. So, right. Again, bath time, do not leave the child alone, especially when you get hot water and cold water, whatever it may be, please do not leave the child unattended. Toy boxes, toys, everything, batteries is something which all of us make mistakes. We keep it, we use the remote, we leave it on the sofa. That's the biggest blunder you can make. It's a major health hazard because it's very easy to open and take the lithium battery into the mouth. Bahut aasan hai. Right? So these are some small little things. I'll come to the detailed element in a bit, but these are just for information for all of you. Teach your child to know some numbers by heart. Okay? Now they should not randomly keep dialing also. You have to be careful about that. But otherwise, so a few elements like these, you can keep it for the child. You can do take a printout and then we ask them to color it and stick it. So in the kitchen, we can always put it on the thing that these are not to be touched. Right? So these are some basic stuff that can be done for the awareness. Few important elements about what are hazardous. This is just for parents, obviously. Knife and seeds, hot things, all these are to be kept at bay. Do not, I repeat, do not take it for granted, saying, "Mera bachcha bada ho gaya, ab usko kuch nahi hoga." Even if you want the child to experiment it, be around him. Right? I'm not saying you have to be overly protective like the IT techie fellow did for his plant, but be around him so that you are in vigilance all the time. Right? Now, after Corona, this is the most important element all of you need to remember. This was always important earlier also. But in India, there is no concept called your space and my space. India doesn't come with the culture of your space and my space. So everything is okay. Now, why am I talking about fluids? Because there are different types of fluid. From the sweat to the urine to the blood, everything is fluid. So anything like this, a child should be taught not to touch. Right? Especially with Corona around, all the more a reason. So if at all there is something like this, let's keep gloves handy at every place where a child is accessible, where you are a vigilance too. So you can do those things. Am I making sense? Are you all able to relate and understand? Right? You have been doing this or the Indian family. Oh, again somebody got unmute. Right. So this is something all the Indian families do, super duper hit. So continue to do so. This is what it is. But this slide is important. Can you all see it? ये हर parent को करना चाहिए. And whenever possible, randomly possible, you should keep doing this. Are you all able to view this slide, or would you want me to read it for you?
Can you please read it, ma'am?
Sure. I'll do that for you. Right. So this is basically situation guessing, okay? So what if there is a situation like this? Then what will you do, Babu? If this happens, then what will you do, Kanna? So these are situations that you create. So simple tips and tricks that I'm trying to keep it as educational as possible. So what happens? Suppose you're taking your kid to the store, Ratnadeep or Decathlon or whichever place that you're going to. And you have to set some few ground rules, right? Now, when a child goes to a shopping mall, like we women, even the child goes bonkers. He gets excited seeing everything. So in order to control, you need to give some rules. So if you say, if you're in a store and you get lost and your group, what should you do, or what should you and your sibling do if you're, you miss out on Amma Appa. Nana and Amma are not around. What do you do? Ask the child. Not in the shopping mall, of course. We do this homework at home. So we ask the child on situations like these. If you're in a playground and you're suddenly playing and you don't find Amma and Appa around, then what do you do? So ask first, elicit answers as to what is it, what is running in their mind. Maybe for all that you know, they might be right. But always elicit answers. Ask for them. They are smart enough to know what is right, what is wrong. If they get some answer wrong, we will go and tell them what is the right way to do it. Again, if you want to buy an item, but you do not have money enough, this happens only with a little more grown-up children, but people who have got little more grown-up children also should be a part of this session. So please have a look at it. So you're trying to show them the importance of sticking with the money that you have, or you don't pick it up at all. You know, this is a good mannerisms that you can teach. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to create a situation for them, and then we are asking them what would be the right answer. And if they don't get it right, then we tell them. Yes, any questions on these? They are simple. You will find many in online, many online like this.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask some question regarding this?
Please do, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a doubt like if my child is there, so I tell her that this is the thing you have to do. So then she will answer me, no, mama, I don't do like this. I want to do this only. Then how should I guide her?
Correct. What happens? Okay, now if a child says, Amma, I don't want to do this, I want to do this. So let's not say this. Give me a statement. For example, we'll use the first one. If you say, Nana, we are going to a mall, you will be holding Amma's hand. Amma will ensure you're around, but you have to also take up responsibility. You have to tell the child that he's also responsible for his actions. Not always will you keep looking around, right? You should also tell him that you should stick with Amma. Now, in case you get lost, or in case you cannot see Amma immediately, what should you do? So give me an option. As a child, suppose you give me an answer. Give me any answer. Give me any answer.
Tell mother and father name to a shopkeeper.
Correct. But tell whom?
Tell to a shop manager or entrance.
Good. Tell the name. Correct. But not for anybody who's passing by here and there. Go to a proper shop. Stand if the person who will be standing, or a security guard who is near the door, to guide him, to tell him to call your parents, and that child needs to know your number. So not going and talking to any stranger who's on the same floor as you are, but walk to a shop. Getting the difference? Am I?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So what the child said was correct. I will go and ask somebody for help. Correct. But you will not ask help from a stranger. You will ask from an authorized person. Who is an authorized person? Who is inside the shop working. They are the people who will not leave the shop and run. Right? And the child should have your number. And the child should stay there so that you can come and pick up the child. That's what your instruction should be. Any questions? Do I make sense? And I will repeat one more thing very clearly to all of you. As a parent, by now you must have been experiencing this crazily. A child will never remember everything at one go. First attempt, he will not remember. Some children do, some children don't. So you have to keep reiterating. Pichila, you'll suddenly feel mad, but it's okay. Because it's for his safety and our peace of mind. So every time you're taking the child out, Nana, what happens when if at all we get lost, we will not, but if we do, what do you do? Let him repeat the same, Amma, I know it, it's okay. You know it, na? Tell it to me. Are you all with me on this? Do I make sense?
Hi, ma'am. I have one question here. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please,
Yeah.
please feel free to ask.
Actually, my child is just 3 years old. If I thought her like this, I think was she able to catch all this? Was she able to remind these things and all? She's just 2.5 years old. That's it.
Ramya ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Ramya
Am I
ma'am?
audible?
Yeah.
Was my question was clear or not?
Yeah, it is very much clear. Just give me a moment. I'll check if
Sure,
Ramya
sure.
ma'am is there. Otherwise, I'll answer it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can you please repeat the question, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Actually, my child was 2.5 years old. If I thought her like this, I think was she able to understand? I think she won't.
Okay.
And was she able to remember the 9 digits of number?
Okay.
Sorry, 10. How can
Okay,
I
I'm
thought her
sorry,
like
I
this?
just got logged out. Extremely sorry for the issue. So I just heard the last portion where you mentioned that your child is only 2 years. Will it remember the 9-digit number? Is that what you meant?
Yes, yes. How can I thought her like this? How can I thought these things to her? Was she able to catch up what I'm trying to say her?
Never underestimate a child. Amma, they have much more brains than you and I do. You will be
Of course,
surprised.
I agree that.
You will be surprised. We as a parenting, Abba, itna yaad rahega kya? To be honest, don't be. Can you be just honest with me? Before the cell phones came, were we not remembering
Now,
the state code
nowadays,
area? Were we
yeah,
not
nowadays
remembering
the
those?
children, nowadays the children remembers the lock number, phone lock numbers also. They
Yeah,
themselves will lock the phone and unlock the phones.
correct.
They are very intelligent nowadays.
And don't never underestimate. But remember, that's why I said don't lie to me. When cell phones only came now, we used to remember Ammama's number also with STD code.
Yes, ma'am.
How
Exactly.
did we remember that? Because we used to practice like crazy, no? Or we used to write it in a book, but after some time it just become a habit.
Now the main problem is like we couldn't able to stop making them watching mobiles.
That's what you think. The reason we ourselves as parents are so addicted that we are not able to pull out. You will be surprised, Ma, that there is nothing that you cannot do. It is just that we are overprotected about our kiddos. That's all. Remember the IT fellow who was raising the plant? Right? For that age, there is no connection required. For that age, he doesn't need to connect with people. For an IT guy, for a teacher like us, for professionals like us, yes, the cell phone is required. For the 2-year-old, he's only come into the world only 2 years or 3 years ago. What kind of connection would he want? For him, connection is Amma Nana, Tata, and Amamma. That's all connections as he wants. So we have to be careful, Ma. You think he cannot. For one day, he will cry. For 2 days, he will cry. Third day, he will realize this lady is as mundi as I am. He will give up. We have to be stronger. It is not easy to raise a child. Who said it is easy to raise a child? But it comes with a lot of homework, and that's where one of the security and safety aspect is also the phone. Problem is, I should confess this. I remember having done this with teachers. I should confess this with you also. One of the child, okay, was playing. Okay, general खेल रहा था. Phone with his parents' phone. He sent a live location. Can you beat it? He sent a live location to a phone number. God knows whose number it was. Okay, and this happened on a real basis because I'm also a professional who's into counseling. So one of the IT firm companies called me saying that this person needs to be counseled. I'll tell you that the homework what happened. This guy told his this guy told in the office that he's unwell and he's at home. This Thotu fellow took the phone. They went to a movie. Picture theater lo kurchoni, he sits there. That little fellow, mother and father are watching the movie. This fellow sits there, sends a live location. Are you all with me on this? Don't blame the child. He doesn't even know what he's doing. Khelte khelte daba diya. Now, next day when this guy goes to office, it's Ragam Tanam Pallavi happening at office. Why did you take a leave? He's saying, I was not well, I was this, I was that. And this guy the boss would not agree. Why? Because there was a live location that showed you're bloody sitting in a theater and watching a movie where he's supposed to come to office. Meeku arthamautunda? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? And I'm confessing this happened and I was a witness to it. Anduke cheptunnanu, that is exactly why I'm repeating myself time and again. Never underestimate a child. It might not look professional to you. It might look very silly to you, but the little fellow has got a lot of brains. You have to be smarter. He's already smart. He's born smart. We only need to get smarter. So do not underestimate anything from the child. मेरा बच्चा ये कर ही नहीं सकता. Hello, तुम्हारे बच्चे के पास से आया ना phone. Your child never has a phone. It has to be your phone or your wife's phone. You gave it to the child did it. So please do not misunderstand me. I'm just trying to make it clear that there is nothing called will my child remember. Your child actually remembers a lot of things about grandmother's house also. It will tell you exactly what grandmother kept, where the laddu sunundas were kept. Amma, Ova, do not underestimate your child. So do that 9-digit number, that fellow will remember. If you make it a routine that he needs to remember, he will remember. So it is that just that we feel, Amma, kaisa raha yaad rehta, uska sab yaad rehta. Everything he will remember. We'll have to make that extra effort. There is no choice we have. For his own safety, for his own betterment, we need to do it. Dimple ma'am, would you give me the authority to run the PPT, please?
Yeah, please, ma'am.
हाँ, यहाँ पे host disabled है because I just logged in again, no?
I'll do that. Give me a moment.
Yeah, sure. Any other questions anybody has? Oh, kids pick up very fast. Yes. Sometimes you will have doubt that it is your own child. It is okay. It is very normal to feel what you feel. That's absolutely fine. We have to make them remember our address, but be careful when you're letting them know the phone number. When you're letting them know the address, they need to be careful of who they are sharing it with. So this is where the vigilance happens. A child just cannot, because he's panicked, he cannot run to anybody and say, I live in this apartment, this phone number, this is my dad, here is where he works, full biodata, and this one has come.
Yes, ma'am, you are now co-host, you can share the PPT.
Thank you, Nipple ma'am, thank you. So yes, any questions anybody has apart from the one? So when you're sharing it with your child, be careful of teaching him who to share it with also. Now, a lot of houses in India, these are some important elements when it comes to fire safety. Okay, we think, we assume it will not happen, and I pray God with all honesty, we all pray God with all honesty, it shouldn't happen to anybody. But just in case it ever happens, what should a child do? Never leave a child uninformed. In the sense, please let the child know what are the precautions that need to be required, even if that situation might never come to us. Are you all with me on this? Yes? So sometimes the learning which happens when they are kids, the situation might happen when they are in their teens or when they are in their 20s or 30s. This learning will still be subconsciously sitting in their mind. So it will help there also. So don't worry, no learning of yours, no teaching of yours will ever go waste on a child. It will always be helpful. Right? But this cannot be a one-time teaching. It has to be a constant teaching. You cannot stop. So, fire ka problem hi nahi hai mere ghar mein, fire extinguisher hai, ye hai, wo hai. A child needs to know what is what. A child needs to know in a situation when nobody is around, what should he do? First aid, that is called. This is what you're supposed to teach the child. Right? And it is not just the child. Tomorrow your child will grow up, it will have friends of his own. So when something happens to the other set of people, we'll be able to do some first aid for them. So no learning goes waste. Having said that, some important elements, we are coming very critical and very close to a very important learning. Okay. Be careful. This is something I tell every parent, and with blessings, I'm sitting here to help you do this. Do not give nicknames to body parts. A child will get confused. Talk what is the original. Okay. Why? Because this adds value to a lot of safety element. Are you all with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So do not give nicknames because it will put your child in trouble. That is not appreciated. This is one of my favorite slides, and most important slide that's coming up is the bottom one, which is secret. First, you should obviously teach your child. I always remember, and I did it with Dimple ma'am and Iris team as well. I have taught both my daughters the same, and I'm telling you the same. I've taught them to shout. I've taught them to scream. Whenever, even if it's a shopping mall and they are lost, I have to tell them, you go to that person or whatever. But if you panic and you feel suddenly somebody is coming closer to your proximity, shout, chillado, shout as loud as possible. And this is something which my children till date appreciate me for it. They are still 16 and 17 only. But mind you, this adds a lot of value, because the first thing happens when you panic is you go into your shell. Voice doesn't come. Right? Teach your child to learn to say no. There is nothing wrong in saying no. Teach a child, if it is yes is good, no is equally good. This is 5 fingers. This is how I teach. 5 fingers, 5 people. 5 people that you really love and you would like to be connected with. This is how I talk to the children. And then they say, Amma, Appa, Pati, Tata, Ria. Ria is my elder daughter's name. My younger one was saying this. 5 important people. If something happens to me or I'm uncomfortable about the situation, one of these 5 people, pakka I will run to. And no secrets. There is no secret formula in our house at all. There is no secret at all. Tell a child, there is no secret in this house. And whatever you say, you can tell to any one of them out of the 5 people that you've chosen. But you cannot hide. You cannot hide or make it as a secret. It has to be told. Am I making sense to all of you? Pick up 5 people. Okay, you might not have 5. We are now a unit family. Tell him to pick up the 3 people that he's comfortable talking. It could be a teacher as well. Wonderful, super duper hit. So let the teacher also be a part of it. But he needs to say that secret to anyone or all of them, whichever is his preference, but he has to say. Making sense? Right? Any questions here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Go on.
Yeah,
ma'am. My kid is very reserved, ma'am. She'll not share anything to anyone. She'll share only to me only to my mother.
To you and your mother, or only you?
Only to me.
Okay. Okay. And how old is your kid?
3 years.
The
She's
boy
nursery now.
started the world. It's okay. At least he has got your child has got you to share, no?
She's going to school, ma'am. Nursery.
It's okay. This is why I'm going to show you the next slide, where you're going to involve the teachers as well. So when a child is not saying, let the parent talk to the teacher.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Right? Because safety, when you say, it is not just in the house. The child goes to play in the garden. The child goes to play in the school. Correct? Different people. So safety is everywhere. So if a child comes and says something to you, the next best person that you can take into consideration is the teacher. So whatever data comes from your daughter to you has to move from you to the teacher. So all of you are in the same circle. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And remember, a child, every 20 days, 15 to 20 days, there's a growth in a child mentally. So a child is developing. ठीक है, हर इंसान में growth होती है. Okay. What the child is today might not be there tomorrow. Tomorrow might have an additional good teacher for him who would be a friend for him at school. You know, now from 1 you become 2. Take time. Maybe the child is uncomfortable. Maybe the child doesn't want to share anything and everything. Not everybody is made to network people, no? Give it space. But you should not lose the focus. You should involve the children, the teacher, right? Very important element, good touch, bad touch. You must have told a zillion times, be careful. Even the way you kiss your child, okay, matters a lot. This blunder happened in my family. I will not let nobody does it on purpose. Nobody does it on purpose, but it's happened. Okay. This happened in a very immediate family of mine. The intent was never wrong. And yet the child came up and said, Amma, something, that was not right, Amma. I said, yeah, that was not right. So, as a parent, show gestures that are acceptable and do not displays that are non-acceptable. Am I clear? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Family bonding should be there, hugging should be there, kissing should be there, patting on the back should be there, patting on the head should be there, patting on the shoulder should be there. But you should sensitize your child on the bat touch element. Now, this is where I'm coming to the learning. Do you see this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Very clear. That's why there are lots of colors being there for a child to understand and be comfortable. Red ones are obviously bad, so it cannot be touched unless it's Amma, unless it's Tata, Pati, unless it's Nana, unless it's immediate circle. Nobody else has a right to do it. Come what may. Clear instructions. Maybe Chinna Nana can do, maybe Pinni can, and there's no maybe. It is this or that. It is black or white. It cannot be gray. For a child, it is very confusing. Am I clear with all of you? Rules should be laid down with clarity. It cannot be ambiguous. Child will get confused. All of you agree with me? Right? This is what my focus has been. And this is one slide I'm really passionate about. Teach your child. Remember, we started the class with feelings. Yaad hai aapko? Emotions and feelings yaad hai? Ye hai feelings. When Nana hugs you, how do you feel? I feel super duper hit. But when somebody touches you differently, automatically your hair will stand. Not just the hair here, but the hair on your hand also. How many of you have felt it? I don't know. I feel it even now. When I'm in the night and I'm walking, or I'm going from a strange place, or I find somebody very close to me, it's an indication that, oh my God, I have to be on alert. That's human reflex. Teach your child to identify this reflex right now, from today. Weird feeling in the stomach. Might want to go to the bathroom every now and then. I don't know how many of you have felt it. When I get scared, I run to every now and then I'll have to run through the washroom. Either I'll have loose motions or I'll keep peeing. Nakundi, I have a problem with that. But that is a clear indication that you're scared. So make your child aware if there is any kind of a feeling, uncomfortable feeling in the tummy. That's something I need to talk to my child about. Heartbeat becomes very fast. Make your child identify it. When you're uncomfortable, your heartbeat will start going very fast. Hands will sweat. You will feel like crying because Amma is not around. These are beautiful feelings that your child should come up with. So sometimes when you say, were you scared? Nana, were you scared? Usko scared samajh mein nahi aata hai. Did you feel like crying? Did you cry? Did you feel weird feeling in your stomach? Were you sweating? These itself means that it's going through difficult times. Are you all with me on this? Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
Start operating on feelings, because
Yes,
feelings
ma'am.
is the first thing we have all lost. We believe in communication. Communication is words, but words should also have feelings. So start identifying. A child will understand feelings better. He might not be able to comprehend emotions. I was scared, Amma. I started to cry. Now you make sense. I couldn't run, Amma. I just couldn't run. My legs wouldn't move. I got scared, Amma. Feelings बहुत important है आप सबके लिए. So please start working.
anyone. Check.
Ma'am, you want to talk to me? Saleha ma'am, आप मुझसे बात कर रहे हो? Okay. Fair enough. Another important element for parents, which is one of my other favorite slides, is this. It is okay to be. Why do you get scared? You are Chota Bheem. You are like Chota Bheem. You are like Popeye. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So first of all, respect the feeling that your child has. You don't respect the feeling, you don't respect the child. As simple as that. Are you all with me on this? So learn to talk the feelings. Scared, lonely, angry, envious, worried, ashamed, sad, upset. Chalta hai. If you have a feeling like this, that means you're human. Appreciate your child is a human. As an adult, we end up killing these feelings. So learn to appreciate. It is okay to feel sad. It is okay to feel scared. Are you all with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is another important favorite slide. Again, a part of what I told you earlier, but more important elements. More. Ma'am, you are on speaker. Right. So a few more important elements. ये भी बहुत important चीजें हैं बच्चों को समझाने के. If a child is not able to see it, you can start seeing it. Okay, these are important for you to show the child what these means. Anything of these, any one of these is a trigger. We have to figure out what it is. Either the child is getting bullied in school, or it is feeling unsafe somewhere, or it is unsafe going and playing in the sports area. It is unhappy going to the tuition. N number of reasons can come out if you're able to identify one of these clues. Are you with me on this, all of you?
Actually, in a previous slide, I have a query.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Please.
Even these feelings are also like hyperactiveness also may be part of this, right?
Yes, underlying area, and that's where a lot of, yes, you're right, a lot of questioning, but a smart questioning needs to be required. You cannot be, you cannot question and make the child feel overwhelmed. You cannot interrogate the child. You can ask the child. There's a difference. Okay, so the way of questioning, the way we are leading the questions to the answer, these are all also some of the elements. If a child is all the time like this, then what you said was correct. But if a child once in a while is a very happy child, but once in a while, it suddenly when this situation happens, he gets scared. Some triggering element pakadna hai. So you are right. If it's consistent, then we have a behavioral issue. Okay. That's when I'm also a psychologist. So that's when psychologists come into consideration. But if it is most of the time everything okay, but कुछ दिनों से 15 दिन से कुछ गड़बड़ लग रहा है, 15 दिन से कुछ nothing is fitting well, something is that 15 दिन का is this feeling that you will identify. Have I been able to answer your question?
Yeah.
Right.
Because my daughter will be saying, if you don't like anything, she says, Papa, I give you F. I will give you F, not A plus. I give you F, she says. Because, see, if we say something, if you don't like, in school, actually, what they say is A plus they give. In school, they give A plus if they write everything right, right? So, if they don't like a child in that psychology, she says, I give you F. Means she don't like.
Correct. Fail.
Fail.
Correct. Correct.
These are the attitudes of child. What they.
Correct. Because they will grasp. See, what is pass and fail? Tick and wrong. Correct and bad. Good and bad. Ante kada?
Yes.
Formula is the same. Only thing is the child likes to identify it. Some child identifies it with stars, sir. Madam, ma'am, I need 2 stars, madam. I was good boy today. Usko stars se identify karte hain. For children like my daughter, she will erase it. Sare say bullshit. This star is bullshit. So every child has got its own identification. If you look at the bigger picture, everything comes to correct, wrong, good, bad, wonderful, shameful. Correct. That category only it falls into. So if she says you F means you failed, appa. That means I don't want it.
Yes, that's right.
Right, for her, that's her comprehension. That's her way of comprehending it is right, wrong.
Yeah, that's
right. Vocabulary, sir, please remember a child is developing vocabulary. So it will start with what it likes the most. In the school, it is AF or you given A or F or, pass or fail or whatever. That's how a child will do. So as a parent, we need to understand what this means. Is she trying to tell me, father, don't come close to me? Or is she trying to say, don't even talk to me about this? Don't even. So the meaning of fail can be on multiple areas. So sometimes she might just say, uncle is a fail. Nana, uncle fail. Uncle F. Manam smart undali to understand what she means when she says F. You getting the difference, sir?
Yes.
Right. Was I able to answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
ma'am, I have one question, ma'am.
Hanji.
Actually, I am from Nepal.
Hanji.
Yeah, I enrolled my kid. She's 3 years old. At the starting, she was very excited to go to school. Yeah, we have not enrolled her at school. She just saw her brother and she wanted to go to school every day from last 3 months. Then we feel that she really want to go and we admitted her in the school. First 2-3 days she cried. After that she became normal. She was happy. I mean, she was not showing her emotion too much. When we drop her on the school, for 2-3 minutes she just make her face that she's sad. Then she's fine. And I got cross with our teachers and came to know that she's okay. But later on, after she goes for 1 to 15 days, then again she became worried to go to school. She tried to sleep at home. When she woke up at 6 a.m., she just take the milk and she again said that it's already night, now it's time to sleep. Now, I'm just worried that what happened to her. She got even, she's suffering from fever from last 3-5 days.
You need to check on a lot of things, ma'am. 3-5 days could be because there's a weather change. Nepal is equally cold now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, madam, kuch cheezein aapko yaad rakhni hai. Some things you have to remember, madam. Children are very smart. I don't know about you, how good you were. I was miserable with school. Okay, I used to never go to school. I used to hate school. I used to hate teachers, but I used to love the games period. I used to go to school only because of games period. I used to never go to school to study. I never studied well, madam. Okay, so don't misunderstand your child. It is just a 3-year-old. Maybe the sleep is not getting done, so she probably sleeps off in the class. It could be a reason that she is not comfortable. Maybe as simple as bathrooms, ma'am. Bathrooms can be one of the problems why a child is not going to school, because the bathrooms are so dirty. I don't want to go. You understand what I'm saying? Please don't misunderstand me. I'm just telling you all options that are possible.
Yeah.
You getting where I'm coming from? Madam, एक बच्चे के लिए बहुत reasons हो सकते हैं. Separation anxiety is another problem. I don't want to leave Amma for so long. Mummy के साथ क्या पागल हो गया? 4 घंटा कौन रहेगा बगैर मम्मी के? No. Maybe I'm hungry in odd hours. Maybe this tiffin is not enough for me, or maybe this is not what I want to eat. Maybe I'm not making friends. Maybe I'm not comfortable with people around. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं मैडम. वक्त लगता है. बच्ची है वो. Don't treat her like an adult, but don't get carried away also. वो महा बदमाश है. She might even make you run around and make you a fool out of it also. So please. Be balanced, do a lot of homework to figure out how is she in class, is she talking to everybody, how is her body language when it comes to sharing her lunch or pencil box or pencil or eraser with other children. बहुत सारा data आपको collect करना है.
Yeah, I'm also confused, मैं सोच रही हूँ कि किस तरह से पता लगाऊं कि उसको हो क्या
कुछ नहीं पता. Only thing you have to do is keep talking to your daughter. कुछ महा बदमाश है आपकी बेटी. कुछ नहीं है, बदमाश है. स्कूल में नहीं तरह स्कूल नहीं जाना है उसको.
वही तो इतना एक्साइटेड थी ना, she was so excited.
कोई बात नहीं. हम आप देखिए, झूठ नहीं बोलूंगी. जब आप पिक्चर देखने जाते हैं, एक आपको पिक्चर का पूरा हाइप दे देती हूँ मैं. अरे ये भी है, वो भी है, यहाँ पे ये हीरो, वो हीरो, ये हीरोइन. पूरी एक्साइटेड होके तैयार होके 3 घंटे का प्रोग्राम देखने जाते हो. 15 मिनट इनटू द मूवी से सारा कहाँ गलत जगह में पैसा डाल दिया, साला टाइम बर्बाद. महसूस होता नहीं होता? होता है. ये बच्ची को भी होता नहीं था. साला मैं सोची स्कूल में मस्ती मारेंगे, ये होगा वो होगा. देखो ABCD पढ़ा रहे, मेरे को नहीं पढ़ना है. अरे यार बच्ची है, छोड़ दो यार. जिंदगी बहुत पड़ी, आगे निकल जाएगी.
तो मुझे वो टेंशन है ना मैम, उसको जो फीवर जो आ गया लास्ट 8 to 10 days हो गया.
फीवर could be for multiple reasons. आज तक घर में रही है. So
वो टेंशन से नहीं आया है ना मैम. I was confused. Either she's tension or due to that reason she got fever, and always she wake up at the morning, she said it's time to go to sleep again.
See, somebody probably needs more sleep. Maybe she's not able to sleep in the night. Maybe the weather is changing. Madam, आपने गौर किया है? Today's generation children are much more falling ill than you and I were. आप और मैं कम बीमार पड़ते थे, बच्चे ज्यादा बीमार पड़ रहे हैं. आपने गौर किया?
Yeah, right.
घर में रख के हम उतना संभाल के ये नहीं वो नहीं ऐसा नहीं वैसा नहीं करने के बाद ऐसे हो जाते हैं. तो when they go to school, they fall sick. किसी का इन्फेक्शन हमको पकड़ लेता है. Some people are susceptible. It's okay. Immune system strong हो जाएगा मैम. 3 साल दुनिया में आके सिर्फ 3 ही साल हुए मैम. 3-4 साल. It's okay. बच्चा है, चलता. But emotional level पे चेक करते रहिए. There's nothing wrong. Don't panic for everything, ma'am. Don't panic for everything. But be vigilant.
Yeah, my thinking is to what should I say to her so that she become comfortable to go to school.
You don't have to say anything. Ask everything from her. So what you used to do, you don't want to go to school, don't go to school. But tell me what has been happening interesting. Tell me what new happened. Tell me what the teacher was wearing. You don't even know. I ask so much of gossip also to my children. What was the teacher wearing? What color was the sari? Man, did she put a clip on her hair? What color was it? What is happening? You're trying to build up a rapport with your child so that she now slowly starts opening up. किसके लंच बॉक्स में क्या था? अंडा. बाप रे, अंडा लाया था. ऑमलेट था क्या? प्याज था उसमें, टमाटर थी उसमें. What, amma? No, you see, no. Uttapam she got. Abba, such a boring lunch, no? So, Yamuna ma'am, you'll have to get data out, and that data cannot happen like interrogation की तरह करोगे तो बच्चा नहीं open करेगा. So start as a masti, you will start getting data. For all that you know, this little fellow is in my jati. Oh, he doesn't want to go to school, so it's okay. So please talk to the teachers and figure out ये 15 दिन क्या हुआ.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Yes, Preeta is laughing at me. So, she's like, wow, fair enough. All right. So a few things before we come to the end of the class. So this is the most important slide for me, for us. There is nothing called secret. Make it very clear to your child. And if your child is hiding, it will start giving you clues. And that is exactly where our homework should start. Okay? Child might not be comfortable telling. That's why the 5 options were given. Remember? You, your husband, your sister, grandmother, grandfather, and the sister. Pakdo kisi ko bhi. they will try and extract the data. Are you all with me on this? Any questions?
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, ma'am. Like, after listening all, this was a great session. I would like to tell you, I would like to thank you on this. And my question is, like, what kind of parenting do you suggest? Like the old, like our parents used to treat us, that kind of parenting, or now, which parenting do we need to follow? Like, what's the golden?
Who is the parent here?
I'm the parent.
And who is the one who's got the offspring, which is you?
Yeah.
You are the one to look after the house. Responsibility becomes yours.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. Number two, as being a parent, you must have now realized a lot of things which mummy, papa used to do for us, which we never liked it before. But now, after being a parent, you have realized how much of value it is. Yes or no?
Yeah. Totally understand.
This is exactly where your latest being a parent and learning from the parent should come as a combination. So it has to be a balanced act. I always tell this to every parent. A parent cannot be a friend to a child. A parent has to be a parent to the child. Now, because you are a parent doesn't mean you cannot be friendly, but you cannot be a friend. There is a difference. All of you agree?
Yeah.
Where a child needs to be pulled down and put, or beaten. Why I should not lie? I know I'm getting recorded here. I'll be thrown out. But there are times I have, forget me, I have gotten beaten up like zillion times. Even in my 10th class, I got beaten up once by my dad. 10th class. And I'm not ashamed about telling that. But am I going to beat my child who's in 8th grade today? No. But if I'm supposed to give her a good, understanding, I will do it. This is one thing I remember and I would love to share, because Nikhila ji, aapne pucha, I'm telling you. One thing that I'm telling it to every single parent sitting here. A parent cannot go wrong, number one. Number two, if your child says, I hate you, Nana, I just don't want a dad like you, that means you're the best parent. I repeat again, if your child says, I hate you, that means your parenting skills are so good that it will make him a better person. You will cry, you will feel guilty, you will be like, Ganga Jamuna Saraswati will happen, it is okay. You will feel guilty saying, so much I did for this fellow and he's telling me you're not a fit mother. Super. But remember, when a child says, I hate you, Amma, that clearly means something is you're doing right in the child. So don't get into this guilt saying, oh shit, he doesn't like me, so I have to rectify myself. Sorry, don't change. You cannot go wrong when you are bringing your child. Okay, because I know recently I also got this Ashirwad. That's why I'm telling you so confidently. My daughter told me on her face, I hate to be born to you. I said, too bad, live with it till I die. Even after my death, you will have to survive. Not too bad, live with it. And I felt bad. Today I'm laughing at it. I cried. I should confess, I cried. But I realized that if my child is saying, that means I've not agreed to everything that she said. That means there is a right way of approaching. Are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So don't beat yourself. You're a great parent.
Yes, ma'am.
Have I been able to answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, this happens to me every day.
Don't worry. I also told my mother I hate you, but today I can't live without her. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. This slide is important for every single parent, even if their child is small so far, doesn't matter. आपको ये data याद रखना है. It's not just moms, it's also dad, but please make it as a package. So you don't give extra data, you don't give extra information. So you, whatever you decide to speak, speak. There is no wrong age. There is always a right age. Say it. In today's world, dynamics are changing, till which you and I knew only at the age of 25, 27, 29, 30. Today, the kids are knowing by 11, 12, 15. So please do not underestimate the children. As a good parent, as a right parenting skill, certain informations have to be taught to the children at certain age, and they have to be done. They will teach you after some time. That's the problem. We should not come to a level where they teach us. Are you all with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So please trust your upbringing. You when your parents raised you up so well, you cannot raise the other generation bad. You cannot. Okay? So few things. These are important again for all of you. Please read this slide with importance. How do I identify? You have to be consistent in your information. Okay, be there as a family. When I say family, family need not necessarily mean father, mother, sister, brother. A mother, grandmother, and a child can also be a family if they are single parent. I'm just trying, everything becomes safety. Sometimes, the way we were raised, men have to be in the house to be, that's a safety quotient. Things have changed now. Family dynamics have changed now. Nowadays, from the time the gay marriage thing has happened, you will find two male in the house raising up a child. Family hota hai. So teach and talk about safety on all elements. How do you do that? Be consistent in your information and grasping information. Listen to your child. Do not multitask when your child is speaking because he feels left unattended, or it feels not given importance. He will not speak. Be curious but not judgmental. Be curious means ask more questions. Oh, her mother sent again idli. Yesterday also she sent, day before also she sent. No. Maybe her mother is very good with making idlis. No. What do you say? Did you eat and see how it is? Get more data, get more information, right? And last but not the least, lead with empathy and compassion. Empathy is always in behavior. Don't judge. Recently, I had a case where an 18-year-old girl walked up to me, and after doing her initial screening and initial understanding, I realized and told her to do a few tests and come, and she was pregnant. She's a teenager, just 18. Right? So at this point in time, she needs a lot of support of family, counselor, society, even to decide whether to keep it or to, abort. Why am I sharing all this with you? Situations are changing. Society is changing. Dynamics are different. So the more awareness we create among ourselves and our children, the more better we can handle situations. All of you agree with me? So a couple of things. Please do not try to be shy when you're talking to a child. If you hesitate, the child will hesitate. Right? So try not to be shy with your child when you're talking. When you, as a parent, always take out time for your child. Okay? Talk in a softer voice, but talk in a confident tone. Okay? Sit with the child, no other distractions, no people coming, no people going, no relatives coming. Okay, we'll talk later, huh? Nothing like that. It has to be a time spent with the kid. Okay? A lot of bonding. When I was talking about bonding, this is where when you pull out information, what the teacher was wearing, what happened in the van, did you sleep, how was this fellow sleeping, where was his head, why is he always hitting his head on the window, why can't you tell him to take a pillow or keep his school bag near the... Kya ho raha hai? You're extracting data. So bond with the child, get more information. Be careful with the terminologies you use because children are too good with adaptation of terminology. So be careful with the slangs. That's why I repeatedly say use the right word. Especially when you're talking about body parts and stuff, do not give any, kiddish terminologies, right? A child needs to understand it and needs to understand it correctly. Another important element is again the safety element when it comes to the kid. So all that is covered in this picture cannot be touched. Cannot be touched. So that's something that needs to be told to the child. Sorry, Again, a child's safety touch. This is important for every single parent here, whether a parent of a boy or a girl, doesn't matter. Gender is not the point here. If you're going to a doctor, the child should not be left alone. Whatever may be the situation. They are also beautiful people. They are safe people, but we will keep our safety in place. Right? But then teach the child that a medical examination can lift his shirt to put the stethoscope to check. Can touch him on his tummy to check. Can check the rashes that have come because of the diaper that he is wearing. That is okay, but Amma will be there. Or daddy will be there to keep an eye. That safe environment is what we're talking about. Right? Right literature, that's important. That means right terminologies, right language, right books that need to be taught. Right. This is my favorite slide, which says learn to tell. Teach them no is also important as much as yes is important. Right? Teach them this, show them how to play together. I'm sure you're already doing as a wonderful parent. Role plays. This is my favorite all time interesting one. Karo bachon ke saath. Call the child and touch her at the wrong place. Is that the right, or what did you feel? How did you? So these are things that a child will understand. I always tell them to yell. So that's my favorite topic. So you can decide what you want. These are simple 13 basic rules. We are done with the class. So some 13 basic rules. For a child to know one of the parents' number or iris number is critical. Okay. Can we all go on silent, please? Okay, Monita ji was online. Okay. Again, teach a child who to give contact info to, who is responsible. If they are lost, where to be, where not to be. What things to focus upon among the road safety, bus safety, school safety, home safety. We are a package. School and home are a package of learning for the child. So we have to be in hand and glove when we are doing this learning. Again, if the child gets lost, ask them to stay at one place, pick up the right people to give information. Do not share personal information. Remember, I told you, live location wala blunder, right? Respect and stay away from dangerous things, which is what we were talking about, kitchen knife, cylinder. All these are important. Right, just give me a second. Right. So a few important elements, again, importance of body, their body, and why the body is precious and why it needs to be kept safe. Again, not hiding, critical information. They don't know what critical it is, but do not hide any secrets. Sometimes children are very good with stories. Please validate the story. Please do not buy the story at the face value. Always cross-check with data. Ask them more questions. Connect with the teachers. School is a very beautiful space where a child spends most amount of its time. It's the second family, second home. So as a parent, you should also, that's why I said hand in glove. So if there is any data that comes from the school or from the child about the school, do not just take the first step and jump on the gun of the information that you get. Validate it, cross-check, check with other parents. Trust factor is very important. You have to have school as your, support, and teachers should feel family as a support. It is a package. It is a two to tango. Tango cannot be done one by a single person. It has to be done by two. So trust Iris teachers, and Iris teachers trust family. So if there's any concern that you feel, first do your due diligence, first do your homework before the escalation happens. Everybody is wanting the safety of the child, betterment of the child. As much as you as a parent feels, teachers feel the same. So work together, right? Teachers teach the child about safe and unsafe, which we've done a couple of times now. The 11th element is important. No bullying, not in school, not at home, not with siblings, not in the play park. Getting bullied is wrong. Bullying is wrong. So teach a child that they should not take it low. Right? Yell and tell, my favorite one, all-time favorite one. So teach a child that as a habit. And last but not the least, tell the child that if you are uncomfortable, you will not do it. So this is a very important literature part that I'm trying to tell you. So Ram sir, Ramakant sir, I forgot the name, I missed out the name. Sir, this is where the signs are. So we were talking about anxiety, depressions part. These are all hyperactive when I was talking about. These all could be the reasons. So a lot of homework needs to be done before we decide on where to pinpoint our concern. Right?
Yes.
All right. So this is a general information for all of you. You can read it. But we are at the end of the session now. I'm open to question answers if there are any. I would really appreciate if somebody wants to share and add value to our learnings today. Let me know how the session, how did you feel the session was today? And I'd really be, it'll be nice for me as a facilitator as well. So yes. Sorry, I got your name right. That means.
Yes. Yeah, actually, the session was good. Actually, there's a lot of information. Even parents could know about this. Even the children at the Iris were taught about the bad touch and good touch. Recently, even I have gone to the Madhyanagoda Krishnanagar branch, where actually I was told there was a presentation on these type of topics to the children at the PP1 level and PP2 level. And actually, even they at that level also, children should know all these things. What has to be done from their side, what care has to be taken from early childhood level itself. You know, parents also, it's a very good learning now. And thank you for the presentation. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ramakant sir. Means a lot. Thank you. Right. Anybody else who has any question, query, or a concern, or you want to share some inputs, please do so.
Thank you, ma'am. It was very nice information we have received today from you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Can we have your if we want to consult you for any other?
Tappakunda. Do you want me to type? Are you all having an access to chat? Chat and e-chat too. Meeting chat.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sending my number across because when I say it, you might not register it. Yeah. I'll give. Yes, Dimple ma'am, I'm done with the class. Would you want to share?
Yes, ma'am. I would seriously like to say that it was a wonderful session, and trust me, I have learned quite a lot of things, and I could relate quite a lot of things what you were saying. So it was seriously wonderful, and I'm sure that all of us are going to implement quite a lot of things what ma'am has shared, and a lot of takeaways, ma'am. And which I feel that, oh, I was missing out with so many things, and I should be now rather more keen on so many issues and in so and so ways. So, and trust me, I now put my hand across and tell you that I'm not going to ever feel any of my children insecure in any of my schools, for sure.
Which is very important. That's a nice way to take away, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, my dear parents, to give your valuable time here. And I'm sure we are going to take care of our children equally important as in school. We are going to take care even at home, and emotionally as well as physically. So thank you so much, friends. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you all. You are great parents. Keep doing the great work.
Thank
you so much. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma. God bless you. Bye.
One of the parents was asking about the audio of this session. So let me tell you, friends, the entire session is uploaded on YouTube. You can kindly go through the entire video there. It's there uploaded in YouTube. We were actually going live in this session. So yes, you can watch, listen anytime.
Mommy. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
Thank
most
you, ma'am.
welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.